Hi friends, I'm Heidi Villegas with Healing Harvest Homestead, and today I'm going to share with you my recipe for a carpal tunnel remedy that's been really working well for me. And I mentioned it in a newsletter not too long ago that I have literally gotten rid of all of the pain from my carpal tunnel issues over the past couple of months with consistent use with this. And I've had so many people reach out to me asking for the recipe. And typically I put most of my recipes in my Ditch the Drugstore course or the Confident Herbalist Tribe. This one I decided just to share on YouTube because I think a lot of people must really need this. So what is carpal tunnel syndrome anyway? This is when you use your hand over and over and over in certain motions, and sometimes things just break down in there and they cause pressure on the medial nerve. So carpal tunnel syndrome is a situation where with certain uses of your hand over the years, like hairdressers are always rolling their hand when they're blow drying hair, or I as a school teacher for so many years was always writing on the whiteboard, or when I first started, the chalkboard. And you're constantly using your hand to write. That's another form, but any kind of repetitive motion can cause issues with the median nerve in your wrist, right along, inside your palm. And it's very painful. It can cause weakness in the hand. It can cause, and even the arm, it can cause tingling and numbness. It can actually extend up into the shoulder. So it's not real fun, all right? There are certain treatments at the doctor's office you can do, but usually what they suggest is surgery. And I do have to tell you that with out treatment, doctors believe that you can sustain ongoing nerve damage. And, that's not something that anybody wants to deal with, right? But I'm a person who really dislikes surgery. So even though I've been dealing with my carpal tunnel for probably about 15, going on 18 years now, initially I just dealt with it. And then when I discovered my essential oils, I worked with them. And recently, when I got into the chemistry of the essential oils, sorry, this is my, my St. John's wort that we're going to use in this blend. When I got into studying the chemistry of the essential oils, that's when I realized that I could really create a very, very powerful blend to use on a daily and consistent basis. I'm shocked and awed at the effect of this on my own wrist. So again, this is with consistent use every day over a period of time. When I first started using this blend, I was using it probably 3 or 4 times a day. I would just roll it on and let it, sit, and it smells pretty good. So it was kind of like a little perfume, only not perfumey, it just smelled nice. What happened was over a period of a month, I noticed things getting better. And by the way, the essential oils that I'm using in this are very anti-inflammatory, and they do an analgesic as well. And so I experienced some pretty significant immediate pain relief too. So let's go ahead and get started on this. What I have here is St. John's wort infused oil. So this is an herbal infused oil from St. John's wort flowers that I gathered last year. And that's what is going on here. I just strained off the liquid, and I'm just letting the rest of it get into the jar here. But St. John's wort has an affinity for the nervous system. Since this carpal tunnel syndrome is dealing with the median nerve, St. John's wort can be helpful potentially. So that's why I like to use St. John's wort oil in this kind of a blend. You can purchase St. John's wort infused oil. It's very expensive. And I just want to say right here that my students who are in Ditch the Drugstore with me, or in the Confident Herbalist Tribe, we forage St. John's wort from the wild here where we live, and we ship it to students. So that happens once a year, and it's just a perk for students because usually once people find out the power of St. John's wort oil, they want to make it themselves. And it's easier to make it, and you get a much better product when you make it yourself than when you buy it from somebody else too. So there you go. We have St. John's wort oil. This is going to be the carrier oil for this blend. All right, up next, I've got my 5 little milliliter bottle and I'm just going to drop my essential oils into it. So what I'm making here is a stock blend. There are a number of oils in this and some more than others. So I'm just going to make a good amount of this and have it ready for next time. So let's go ahead and run through the essential oils in this. So black pepper contains a chemical called B-caryophyllene, and it is exceptional as an analgesic. It's warming, it brings circulation, it enhances it in circulation to the area. It's very healing in that regard, and I love it as an anti-inflammatory. And I'm going to add 10 drops of black pepper essential oil. Okay. Next up, and I'm not going deeply into the essential oil chemistry with you. I'll keep it real simple, okay? Copaiba balsam is the next essential oil, and I'm also going to use 10 drops of this. This also contains B-caryophyllene. Now, B-caryophyllene is actually the same chemical that is found in CBD oil, and one of the reasons why it's effective. Come on, let me get you this flowing here. Balsam Copaiba is a resin oil, and so sometimes it takes a little bit to get it going, but once it starts, we're good. Beautiful. Balsam Copaiba. Up next is peppermint. So peppermint is cooling, and I know that sounds kind of strange that you're going to put a warming essential oil like black pepper, and ginger is in here as well, with a cooling oil. But the fact is that the menthol that's in the peppermint that causes it to be cooling is extremely strong in terms of it being an analgesic, and it really does help with pain relief. So this is more of an immediate pain relieving kind of essential oil that I like to put in here. But if you've ever used icy hot, then you know that that icy hot feeling can bring a lot of good relief. Okay. So far, we've got 10 drops of black pepper, 10 drops of balsam copaiba, and 10 drops of peppermint. Okay. Up next, we've got ginger. Ginger is a rhizome, and it's very anti-inflammatory. It is very pain relieving and analgesic, and it's warming as well. So I love ginger in most of my analgesic blends, and we're putting 15 drops in. Okay, I think I just emptied that bottle. Okay, time to buy some more ginger essential oil. Clove oil. Clove is numbing, and it's also just wonderful as an anti-inflammatory. It contains a chemical called eugenol, and it's really helpful for the nerves and everything too. Here we go. So up next is German chamomile. German chamomile is one of the blue oils, and the blue oils contain a chemical called chamomile, and that's what gives it the blue color. But generally speaking, the blue oils like yarrow and blue tansy, you can substitute them, but they are very pain relieving and analgesic as well, and I find them very healing. I'm going to put 10 drops of German chamomile in here. Okay. Next up is Melissa essential oil. So Melissa essential oil is lemon balm, and lemon balm, Melissa officinalis, is an essential oil or a plant that also has an affinity for the nervous system. It's very healing, very soothing. In fact, it's indicated for herpetic lesions like chickenpox and cold sores and things like that. I love using Melissa whenever I'm dealing with anything to do with the nervous system. We're going to drop 5 drops in here. Has a really beautiful lemony overtone scent. All right, and now I'm going to snap my little cap on and put my lid on here, and I'm going to shake this really well. Now typically You might think I'm doing overkill on the shaking, but no, you really need to shake your essential oils super well to get them fully incorporated with each other. And in fact, it's really best if you can let them sit for about 48 hours and just synergize together. But in this case, I'm doing a video, so I'm gonna go ahead and use it right up front here. Okay, so we've gone over the essential oils. We've talked about the St. John's wort oil, and now we're going to go ahead and put together our little roller bottle. Okay, so real quick, let's talk about dilution rates for a moment. So this particular blend, I'm going at this as it is a chronic issue with acute discomfort. So I am choosing to go with a stronger dilution amount. I'm choosing to go with 10%. Now you could go as low as 5% or even 2% if a higher dilution makes you a little bit nervous. But I really like a 10%. And in fact, when I was starting out with this, I might have even gone with a 20%, to be honest. Do your research on dilution amounts and you can decide for yourself. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, once again, shake my blend, and I'm going to add, we just got a new puppy and they're playing. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and add 20 drops of this blend to my little roller bottle. Okay, nice. Put this aside. I'm going to make sure I've got a label on this so I remember what it is. And then I'm going to take my St. John's wort oil and I'm going to, use a funnel and gently pour my St. John's wort oil into the little 10 milliliter roller bottle up to the shoulder. 10 milliliters is about 1/3 of an ounce, so it's not very much. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and snap my roller ball on top. Make sure it's in there good. Take my lid, put it on. Shake this really well. Sorry about the dogs. And then to apply this, what I'm going to do is anytime I feel pain in my wrist, I'm just going to go ahead and rub it over the painful area. And actually for me, that extends into my hand and up and around my thumb, definitely over this part of my wrist and under here and off to the side. This, by the way, is also a really great blend for rubbing into sore shoulders and up your arm if you need it for that too. If you're going to apply this oil, this blend to a large area of your body, then you would probably want to go with a 2% dilution, okay? Because otherwise you can just get too much essential oil into your bloodstream. But I'm just applying it locally to this little small area, and so therefore I feel very, very good with my higher dilution amount. I'm going to go ahead and put a label on this. In fact, this is this is the blend I've been using. It's about halfway gone right now. I made this one about a month ago. You can see they last a really long time. This is my Carpal what is this? Carpal tunnel and other pains, okay? So this is what I use, and I carry one of these in my purse. I have one on my desk, and I keep one in my bathroom. And therefore, anytime it comes into my awareness that, man, this is hurting, I'll just apply it. And what happened with me, with my own carpal tunnel, was that over time, the pain just kind of subsided, and then I would forget to use it completely. And then the pains would come back again, and then I pick up using it again. So anyhow, I just want to share here that this is my recipe for carpal tunnel pain. And I also want to say I'm not a medical doctor. I am an herbalist and an aromatherapist. And therefore, if you have carpal tunnel issues or suspect, you should go see a medical doctor and get a proper diagnosis. And then you can choose what you're going to do with your own health and wellness. And I just love medical doctors in terms of diagnostics, because once you have a diagnosis, then you can start doing research and making decisions about your own health and wellness. So I'm definitely not giving this advice to be a substitute for medical advice at all. But this blend is what has helped me and others feel much, much better with this terrible nervous system issue. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you make it, let me know how it goes, and I'll see you in the next video. My Heidi's blend for carpal tunnel recipe.